Okay, we are live. Who do I got here today? I know there were a lot of people who had gotten corn husks. So I'm going to wait a minute or two for those folks to get here because I'd hate to start because I'm going to explain some things like how to properly tie a square knot and things like that. This is a very quick craft, so I'm probably going to end up making more than one. I think the most time I spent was actually dyeing the husks. But I have some natural, I left some husks natural because sometimes it's hard to demonstrate what I'm doing on stuff that's black. So I left some plain. You need a lot of paper towels. Let me see here. Make sure I scoot my mic up a little bit, a little closer. Hopefully you can hear me pretty good. Got everything resting on a silicone mat. It keeps showing someone popping on and popping off, so hopefully. Okay, well, I'm gonna get started. Oh, hello. I was like, I know a lot of people bought husks. Where are they? um, okay, so I actually am gonna start out talking about husks because there's a couple different types. Hopefully the audio is good. I actually realized in my last live stream there was some kind of like I don't know, something was weird happen, like an echo or something with the mic. And then I found out that I had an array turned on for some reason. So let's get talking about husks. This is going to be the end result in one way or another. Everyone's will probably look a little bit different, but this is the like traditional corn husk doll. This one has a bonnet, and she's got a little split cape in the back, and just a skirt and some arms. That is essentially the basic look of it. Let me go to the main cameras a little closer. Hey, Wendy. So this is kind of what we're making today. Not kind of, I mean it is. You can make an entire doll out of husk, or you can use additional things. Depending on how thick your husks are, if they're giving you a lot of trouble, sometimes it's easiest to just use like waxed thread or some twine or something to bind them off, because they can be kind of squirrely, especially the ones that are not specifically the tamale ones. Sorry, I keep moving away from the mic. Okay, so let's get started talking about the corn husks. This is the part that you're peeling the corn out of before cooking it. And traditionally they're used as wrappers for steaming foods and things like that. When they're dried, they're very brittle. As you can see, they crack. So what you got to do is basically get them wet, okay? And I didn't know if everyone already knew that or if I forgot to mention it, but I did. We will soak some so you can see that result. And you'll also notice they come in varying sizes. I will tell you that the ones that are purchased for tamales, I think they've been scrubbed, so they're a little finer in feeling than the natural ones. And also they seem larger, and it's because you still got this little bulbous kind of rounded part, and they kind of just chop that off with the ones that you purchase at the store. So I'm going to start by soaking some of these Let me use the big ones. You don't have to soak them for very long. The majority of mine are already really have been tenderized because they were soaking in black dye for like ever. So. And as I was saying, I think just before you guys joined, it is sometimes hard to see what is going on when people are demonstrating stuff on something that's solid black. So I left these natural colored so you might be able to see a little easier what I'm doing. Have any of you made corn husk dolls before? You see, these get pretty bendy pretty quick, so you don't have to soak them for too long. You don't really have to worry about over soaking them either. I tried it just to see if maybe I could force an error, just so I could give that information to people, like, oh, don't soak it overnight or whatever, because they'll be too tender. I had ones sitting in a pot overnight and they were fine. It's actually the ones that this little gal's made out of. You've never made one? They're really fun. You might want to add it to your seasonal activities that you could do with family members. I mean, it's kind of like a brigade stall, so you put them over your doorway. It's supposed to be good luck. Stuff them places. So the one thing I'm going to run into is the inconsistency in sizes. So that is where the food, like grade tamale wrappers, are great, is they are consistent in size, so you can get more consistent results. But I kind of like the raggedy look of the natural ones. This little one, she was made with the natural tamales. They do fight you quite a bit more. And I didn't cut those little things. Those are just natural, like how it tears. A little witch or pilgrim or whatever you prefer. Did you guys already pre-soak your tamales, or... Oh, this kind of looks like ruching. Ruching, I think is the word. This one's got little wrinkles in it. It's kind of cool. I have so many because when I purchased a pound is a lot. I'm terrible at measuring like how much something is going to be as far as the quantity goes. So I have quite a few. So some folks might be receiving them in the mail. Speaking of mail, the Hiss and Scratch folks haven't received their patches in the mail yet. So yay, I get to go to the dang post office and be like, I know those patches are cool, but I sure hope no one took them, or they're just sitting on a shelf somewhere waiting to be sent. It's very aggravating because it costs $1 billion to send stuff these days. So what you want to do is kind of just, if you got natural ones, just kind of bend it a little backwards. If it's not making cracking noises, you're probably good to go. There's a couple corn doll artists that do just absolutely bananas stuff, but I'm just sticking to the kind of very simple. You can embellish it however you want. So let me move this off to the side. I'm gonna get a paper towel. Scoot these little guys up there. And get this ready. All right, while I let those soak for another minute or two, let me go over a square knot. So I often see people tying square knots wrong, which actually end up in things slipping. Oh, my camera moved. Let me move that back. Don't know how that happened. Move it back. Okay, so if you do not tie a square knot correctly, it is called a granny knot, and it does tend to work itself out. So I do suggest tying a proper square knot. You can obviously get away not doing a square knot. It's just stuff will shift around on you quite possibly while, you know, you're working on it. So to tie a square knot, you're going to make an X, go. One end goes under the other. And then you're going to reverse what you just did, okay? So you're going to take this end, crisscross it the other way, make an X with the other one on top, and then bring that end under. The telltale sign that you've done this correctly is you should have two interlocking hoops like this. That is a proper square knot, okay? And that is not going to shift on you. In fact, the more it gets tugged on, the tighter it gets. Also, your ends will lay flat, which is really nice when you're doing crafts because you hate stuff shooting all over the place. If you do a granny, see how when you tighten it, things get all wonky? It will stay still, obviously. If you don't know how to tie a knot, tie a lot, as they say. But you can notice that your ends are shooting up and down. That's how you're going to know if you don't have a square knot. And I don't know if that helps you guys. I used to have to teach knots, like a lot of them. There were 12 knots. But once again, I'll show you one more time and then we'll get busy. One over the other, whichever one you want. Then take one loose end, bring it under the other, and then you're going to crisscross the opposite. Excuse me. And then make sure that if you see this end is going underneath, this end is going to go underneath as well. Okay? Square knot. All right, enough knots. Get all this little shredded bits out of here. Okay, so now I'm going to lay out you need about 4 or 5. I actually usually do 4, just an even number. And I'm trying to see what the camera that you guys are looking at right now, it's flipped. So I'm trying to show you whichever one's on the top. I am going to put the smaller end of the corn part at the top where the head is going to go. And if you want to add like capes and stuff like that, you can just add more corn husks and you can cut them down and stuff, and I'll show you some examples of that. Just lay them on top of each other. We'll use this weird one that's got like pleats in it. Wendy, was it you that said yours smelled like vinegar? Yeah, so I actually was like, okay, well maybe she's got the tamale, like the ones you cook with. Yeah, so I bought some and I was like, I'm gonna see how strong this smell is. And this one looks a little whiter than the other ones, so I'm just gonna pull that apart. I didn't think it was too bad, but yeah, I could see where if the smell bothered you. So, do I want to do one more? Yeah, I'll go ahead and make one more, or do one more. This craft is going to work up so fast, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, something that's not going to take a million years. That's why I was like, you know what, we'll do a craft along that isn't going to take 1,000 years. I want these little curly ends to be flipping out, so I'm going to flip those two around. All right, so here is where you can either use twine or bookbinding waxed cotton thread, or linen thread is really good. It doesn't slip. It'll keep a very, very tight knot. You can even use the corn husks themselves. So we will just tear a strip of this off. They're pretty strong. But they will rip on you if you pull hard enough. But we'll just use all corn husk for this project. So come up to the top and gather it nicely. If you just crunch it together, it's going to make your husks kind of wonky when you go to spread them out. So just make a little bunch. You're going to tie a square knot. Oh, see, and I tore one side off because I pulled too hard, but that's okay. It's tied. Okay. Then you are going to flip half of these over, and we're making the head right now. So be very careful. Flip them over. If you got a loose tied end hanging over the edge, tuck it in. Make sure they're not all wonky on the inside. Okay. Now we're going to make the head. It's pulling on my thumb weird. Okay, sorry. So get yourself another strip of corn husk. And we're going to make the head. This one, I probably just tie it in the back so the knot's in the back, or you can tie it in the front because it'll look like a little necktie or a bonnet bow. It's up to you. This is a very weak corn husk I keep pulling things off of. I don't think it's soaked enough. Going to tie two. Okay. You can either leave the ends or cut them off. It's up to you. All right, so now we've got the basic body. Let's look at the webcam. Okay, now you have the basic body of your little witch or corn doll, whatever you want to call her, pilgrim. And now we need to make arms. So take a husk. You're going to want to make these a reasonable length. If they look super long, you're going to have to cut one side. So I'm probably going to cut, where are my scissors at? I'm going to cut this part off here. Okay. See how that looks on her. Maybe a little long still. Still a little bit long. Sure, why not? And then you're going to roll this up. You can roll it up tight if you want, or if you want kind of a more poofy sleeve look, you can keep it loose. I'll go in between, loosely rolled. Okay. Then you're going to go back to the middle of your doll, wherever you decide that is. You're going to shove her arms up there, and then we are going to tie another one around her waist. Oh, the coffee got rid of the smell? Okay, good. Now, if you want a cape, you can lift up one of these husks on the back, which, you know what, that's super easy to do, so why not? Shove her arms up there pretty good, though. And tie this around her waist. I'm going to tie the bow to the back. And there you have your basic one. Now all you could do, or all you have to do, is tie off her hands. You can take some more of this if you want. Keeps the ends nice and tight. Kind of looks like little peasant sleeves. Cut those ends short. If you want to, you can put wire inside to make it posable. I have not done that yet. I might do it on my next one. Sorry if you guys can hear my fan. We're having a bit of a doozy of weather here. Heat. Ooh. Can't remember. I can never remember what right over left I did last. That's definitely a granny knot. Okay. All right. Okay. So then kind of poof out the remaining husks and see if she stands up on her own. If she doesn't and you want her to stand up on her own, you're going to, I like little flippy flap capes. If she doesn't stand on her own, you're going to cut or trim the bottom so they're even. Oh, sorry, I'm like off screen. I don't know why my camera keeps moving. Sorry. Oh, I think it's because I keep shaking the table with my feet. I'm one of those people. Here we go. Sorry, the camera went off crazy. Okay, so she's standing on her own. The cape is kind of propping her up a little bit, so I might want to move this one out a bit more. Okay. And that is your basic, or, you know, the classic corn doll. Now, if you want to give her a bonnet, you can take any of these pieces you want. You can wrap them around. Here, this one. You can wrap them around. Let's use this. And that's in here. Gotta make a wider strip. I would say fold up an edge. Take another strip. I'm gonna make this smaller. Take another strip. Roll that into it. So I rolled up a strip of Husk, and I'm taking it back behind her arms. Oops. Around the front, back to the opposite side, and tying it behind her. Oops, my other little ties got snagged in there. Okay, I'm undone. Hang on. So come to the front, take it to the back below the cape, come to the front. Work with me. Take it to the back and then tie it off. That's a little long, which is giving me problems. There you go. There's one way to make a bonnet. There's a ton of ways to make them, honestly. I made this one differently. I crisscrossed it in the back and then just tied it off, which is kind of nice. Oh, I tied the wrong thing together. Whoops. Push that up there. There we go. Tie these two together. The hills are alive with the sound of music. Possibilities are endless. You can give her an apron if you want. I found some, what is that, like fruit netting? And I was like, ooh, I could make a black widow. But essentially, once they dry, you got your corn husk doll. All right, what do you guys think? Easy enough? Now we can just kind of experiment. Now I'm going to use the tamale ones. I haven't used those yet. I've got some black dyed tamale ones. Tamale ones, whatever the heck you want to call them. Let me put this water away before that gets spilled everywhere. So there was one other idea I was toying with. If you didn't have like enough length to work with on your corn husks, you could shove the neck piece up into something like a wooden ball and then just start from there. If you didn't have a whole lot of, like some of these husks, like you don't want to waste them, right? But they're super tiny. So when you fold them, when you tie them at the top and then fold them over, you're not going to have a whole lot left over for the skirt. So maybe to avoid having to fold it over, you could just, you know, pinch them all up together and then hot glue them or something into the neck. And then make your chest like you normally would with the arms. So I will say it'll probably add a little bit of weight to the top of the doll, but I think it's a good option because I was thinking about that. I'm like, oh, look at all these small ones I have. I don't think I would be making some very tiny ones, but maybe I was thinking about making like a corn doll garland or something like that, because that would be kind of creepy. But let me get some. I had to work at a farmer's market this morning, and I was like, man, I should just be sitting here making corn dolls and selling them. Super fast craft. So these are the tamale husks, which is it's a corn husk, but to me they feel a little thinner, and they look longer, and I don't know if it's because maybe they flatten them out, but these are really good to work with, and you can get a ton for $6. Like I did half a bag. This whole bag was $6, and half of these I already boiled and turned black. So if you, I feel like this would be a good craft to be sending to people as gifts maybe, or just a quick holiday or seasonal craft to sell. Oh, dried apple heads? Absolutely. I remember making those as a kid, like through a camp of some kind, and I was like, this is a really creepy craft for children to be making. Shrunken heads. I'm just trying to match up the size on some of these. Some of these are massive. I think these tamales were from Mexico. I guess corn is bigger in Mexico, maybe. Yeah, I say about 4 is a good amount. And then I'll get a long one to rip strips off of. Maybe I'll try one with the head, huh? Maybe not. I don't want to get the hot glue gun out. For once, I have a setup for these live streams where there's not cables running everywhere. So I think I'll just, don't always have to use the glue gun, right? Okay, and also, trick or treat is coming up. I hope everyone has completed their forms. So far, I have 9, and there's 37 of us. So if you guys are watching this, please fill out your form. The form is kind of important. It helps your trick or treat partner know if you have some like absolute no-nos. Like, I think someone had put cockroaches. Like, they don't want anything cockroach sent to them. Which is fair. So yeah, make sure you fill out your form. That way we can get your partner the correct info for you. Not to mention, I'm sorry, this is one of the funnest things that we do. If you are participating in the Yule Ball, please make sure you let me know if you need help or something, because that deadline is coming up also on September 1st. Please look at the theme. You don't have to necessarily stick to theme. I will be adding magic and motion to the stuff that's turned in to make it all, you know, jazz. Oh, I'm just incredible hulking these together. I feel like the neck one is the one that I break the most because it's holding a lot together. And I'm actually going to try a wire in the arms of this one because I have not done that before. So I got a black wire. I'm going to cut a width or length or whatever. Let's use this one. So I'm going to roll up this wire pretty tight in the tamale. What side do I want to be the front? I feel like that looks like the back, so let's go kind of want to tie this with some twine, but just to make it super tight. Should I do that? You can also wrap it around the back of the neck and then the front of the arms and tie it around the back. That helps keep the arms in place as well. Pretty good. What is this little thing? Oh. Stuff that underneath. I should just leave these around my office at people's desks. It might let them be able to remote work. They're going to be like, someone's leaving creepy stuff at my desk. They'd actually probably be like, it's just Sarah, okay? Come on. You need to know that she's like this. Okay, so now she's actually got little bendy arms. Let me tie up the ends. Do I want to make poofy sleeves? Just do poofy sleeves on the next one. One new thing at a time. The poofy sleeves, or leaving them on the desks of unsuspecting coworkers. Okay, now let's see. Little bendy arms. Oops, definitely bent them too. Ooh, I like the wire. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, I like that. Now I'm going to do another little waist tie. I've already done some with a cape. So let me... Oh, whoops, did I make her arms backwards? It's okay, just bend them the other way. That looks creepy. It's like the woman in black. Like she's got a little veil over her face or something. Oh, love it. Oops, sorry. I'm going to hit the mic. I'm going to use a black piece of waxed linen thread for her waist, and then I'm going to wrap it. Okay, and then my idea, well, this one's very kind of Victorian looking. We've got skinnier arms and doesn't that one look a little more Victorian or Edwardian? Okay, now I'm going to make like a weird little hat for her, which I'm going to do by tying this around her head with, gotta use, I'm going to probably use twine with this one. I don't want to mess this one up, this part. So I'm going to I need a wider one. Now that that's on her head, I'm going to trim the excess, and then I'm going to peel it back and pull it back. I hope I just tore it. It's okay, because I'm going to be wrapping other strips around the outside. So what is it about corn dolls that is just innately creepy? Is it because they don't really like have faces or anything? Which I did pull out my paints if we wanted to experience. Oh, son of a gun. I accidentally ripped it and now it's just going all the way down. Here, try it again. She's like Pyramid Head from Silent Hill. Or Triangle Head or whatever his name is. Don't rip on me. Sorry, I'm trying to get this closer to my face so I can see what I'm doing. Okay, now I want to flip it over. That twine, once again, kind of ripped. That's okay. Trying to make a little conical hat. I'm going to chop it off here. Tie it up at the top. She's got a little witch hat. Okay. Right. No more long strips. No. I cannot tie things for whatever reason right now. let's look at the webcam. Little witch. Oh, her hat's a little weird. These are fun. A pumpkin, huh? Then I thought about taking like shreds of ones and then tying those on. To a wide belt. I am still kind of impressed with how dark these got. I was fully prepared for that to be a battle. Okay, so I'm going to lay her down with a wide strip to go around her waist. Kind of like the little frayed type ones. Then I'm going to cut the extra. Some of these things we do just crack me up. Let's see. Little witchy gal. I think that one is my favorite. It's taller than the other ones, for sure. So I think I'm going to make one more. And maybe I will use a combination of light and dark ones. Let's see how that turns out. Here, I'm just going to wad all that up. Like I said, I might string them all together into a garland. The smaller ones. It might be fun. All right, let's try alternating the black and white. I think it's got to go like this. I don't know what this will look like. Just alternated it. I will say you kind of don't want the middle one, like when you're folding them up, you want that to be poofed up instead of recessed, but it's kind of hard to. That's not going to hold. Just going to use a piece of twine because this is kind of thick. Okay, so let's see. It's kind of curling up a little bit in a weird way, so I'm going to make sure before I make a head out of this. What do I feel like this is probably going to look like a nun? These are not as strong as my other ones. I think as far as making strips go for tying stuff off, I feel like these are stronger. Okay. Do black arms, since I like the little skinny ones. Do another rolled up set. No, stop breaking. I need dexterity. Alright, let's try this again. Do-do. Okay, got the arms. Let's do a waist. I'm going to take another black one. And do a wrap around on the front. This one got a little more smushed than I like. I feel like it's a little too skinny. Let's use some twine on the waist. Darn you, Cape. Get out of the way. Okay. And now I think I'm just going to like shred the, oh, I need to tie our hands off. And maybe this will be the one where we use floppy sleeves. Let's do that. I love waxed thread. It's so much easier to tie. And I'm going to tie another one at the elbow. I need a matching piece of let me tie you. Okay. You ever like those medieval sleeves that kind of just that were just added, like they serve no purpose other than decoration? I don't know if you know which ones I'm talking about. They're just attached up top to like the bicep. This fancy lady. Okay. And then I just want to chop up her skirts, honestly. I just want to kind of looks like Batman. back is a mess. Yeah. Just put a cape on it. Yeah. I meant to cut that straight across and just went not straight. There we go. Hopefully that work. I wonder how bad it would like burn the husk if you took like a lighter to it or something. All right, what do you guys think this one should have? I feel like she needs like high eyebrows and a snooty look. Let's see. What could we do? Let's give her like all these little scraps. I'm gonna make her a little hat out of all these little scraps. Let's see. Definitely gonna have to tie those up. This is going to be difficult. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to move her head. Alright, I'm going to definitely use twine. I'm going to slide this underneath all of these little pieces or lay them on top of it. Yeah, and this is the way it's happening in my head, but I'm telling you, this is probably not going to work. Yep, already failing. Okay. And then let's lay her dome down and tie him on. Yep, this is gonna work, right? I probably would be better off like gluing them in place. Oh, God. Oh, actually, kind of worked. Let's take a look. really sinister looking. I'll pull those up a little bit. Oh yeah, very vampire. I think I can maybe shove some of these underneath. I need like tweezers or something. Here's some pliers. I want to shove some of these littler, weirder pieces in there. So anyone, if you are interested in actually having one of these, let me know. Maybe we could do I haven't done a minute murder mystery in a grip of time because of life and stuff. So maybe if you guys are interested, we could do one. I'm gonna put a long black one over the top. They're very couture. Yeah, this one totally has a vampire vibe. Good call. You need her skirts to kind of spread out a little bit. Is this like a, what's that one designer who does like really crazy stuff? Starts with an M. It's like if he designed corn dolls. McQueen? Alexander McQueen? Oh, this needs to be less, it's like rounded. There we go. Perfect. Voila. It really is kind of important how you bunch them together because these do not spread well if you don't bunch them appropriately. What do you think? These are fun. Let me see if I can take this down and get you guys a closer look. Turn this light off. There you go. This one's like a little creepy Victorian child. I've got the lung. Super white for whatever reason, and there we go. Oops. Very fun. I could seriously probably make these all day. I might make a couple more. But yeah, if you guys are interested in maybe me sending some of these, let me know. You're a freaking vampire queen here at the end. All right. Let me set that back up. I want to see how your guys' has turned out, so let me know. Share them, and I'm going to take some good pictures and post them up. Fun craft along. I got to see Batman, corn doll Batman. What do you think, you guys will keep doing this? Think you'll keep making them? It's kind of a dying and lost art. I think we could definitely keep going with it. Oh, you're gonna paint a face? Yeah, I didn't know if I should paint a face or not, but very fun. This is one of our quicker ones. Yeah, that can get kind of frustrating. It has to be in a certain sweet spot, the dampness. Otherwise, it just kind of tears a little too much. I think it's got to be not so dry, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, that definitely gets frustrating. And I do recommend waxed thread. It definitely helps hold the... It also is resistant to the moisture, so they won't expand. Like the fibers won't expand. But there you go, guys. Thank you so much for joining me for this craft along. This was a fairly painless one. And yeah, be sure to post your finished products. I want to see what we got going on, how well you guys did. All right, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much. Yeah, I had a lot of fun. Have a good one. Bye.